The Dallas Mavericks lost 100-96 to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, evening the series 2-2, and we need to talk about it as there was a lot of things wrong with that game. We had a great first half, came out the second half, and we were just gassed. No one could buy a bucket, the defense fell apart, and our two leaders in Kyrie and Luka just weren't able to get it done. In this channel, I try to stay positive. I try to be that fanatical, delusional Mavericks fan and try to stay positive. And even though I am still positive that we can win this series, I will be real. I will be honest with myself. There are things that this team needs to address or our season is over. We'll break all that down in this video. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. Before we get started with today's video, man, we are at 7,836 subscribers. So close to 8K. My dream goal is to hit 10K before the start of the next season, and we're getting very close to that goal. But if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on everything Mavericks related, as well as our giveaways, our live streams, and all the news vids just like this one. But last night's game was pretty rough. The Mavericks fan base is not taking this easily. We lost 100-96 in a game where we should have won. We came out in the first quarter just lightning, amazing, blitzing, whatever adjective you want to describe our offense, because it was just amazing. The three ball was falling. Everybody was getting shots. Our offense was moving very well, as well as our defense was just clicking. We had a great first half. The first two quarters, beautiful basketball. We were up by like at least 9, I think, at halftime. And it was a great game in the first half for the Mavericks. We were playing our brand of basketball. Things looked good until they didn't, because in the second half, coming out of halftime, it was just hard for us. Not being able to get a bucket. Kyrie still didn't have any points. Luka still arguing with the refs, refusing to get back on defense, or really just picking and choosing when he wants to get back on defense, and just everything falling apart. And I'm going to start now by giving Shai Gilgeous-Alexander his props. SGA did his thing. He seemed to be the only player on the Thunder team able to really show up last night, and he got it done. All his mid-range shots were falling. I think he only ever took 1 or 2 threes, and then he just attacked the basket. Luka Doncic, you could do the same thing if you really wanted to, but shout out to SGA, the Thunder, hard-fought win, but we're going to break down what that really means, and we're just going to look at the box score real quick. I don't want to harp too much on the box score and everyone's individual stat lines. As you can see, PJ had another 20-point game. He was our leading scorer again, continuing to show that he can be a reliable third scoring option for this team. He also had 12 rebounds, a 20-point double-double. Good job, PJ. He was also 5'11 from the three-point line. But as you go down, you start to see our role players really stepping up as well. Not only was it PJ Washington, but also Derrick Jones Jr., who was a +9, have 17 points, 4 blocks, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. He was 1 of 5 from 3, but he was able to attack the basket. He split his free throws, which free throws were a big issue. We'll talk about that later. But he still stepped up big, played great defense, was able to score. He was awesome. Daniel Gafford still having a somewhat of a mid-playoff run so far. He had 10 points, 3 blocks, 8 rebounds. Kyrie only took 11 shots. Derrick Jones Jr. took 1 more shot than Kyrie. PJ took 8 more shots than Kyrie. Luka took 9 more shots than Kyrie. Is Kyrie being our second best player on the team, our 1A to 1B? I need Kyrie to take more than 11 shots in the game. I understand that he had 9 points and 9 assists. He's not unplayable. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say it's all Kyrie's fault. I'm not going to sit up here and say Kyrie's the reason why we lost, because I still believe that you win as a team and you lose as a team. Everyone's at fault. He split his free throws. He missed both of his threes. He was 4 of 11 from the floor. He had only 1 turnover, which is great, better than 5 like he did in game 1. But these are the things that need to tighten up. He was a +4 in the plus-minus box. That's great. However, Kyrie needs to score more than 9 points. This is the second time that he scored under 10 in this series. And when things aren't looking good for Luka or some of the guys off the bench, we look to Kyrie in the second half. We look to Kyrie in the fourth quarter to be our guy, our go-to. And Luka, the man that we are really going to talk about, because he had 18 points with 7 turnovers, 1 block, 2 steals, 10 assists, 12 rebounds, 2 of 9 from 3, 6 of 20 from the floor. That triple-double, don't let it fool you. That +1, don't let it fool you. Luka had a bad game. I don't know if anyone's going to say it. I'll say it. I'll be honest. Luka had a bad game, not only to his own standards, but to the standards set by this organization when we're trying to win playoff games. Unacceptable. That cannot happen again. Now, I will be fair. Luka is hurt. If you talk about Luka playing bad, you got to say he's playing bad, but he's hurt. Just like the other people are saying, yeah, he's playing bad and he's hurt. He's hurt, but he's playing bad. You got to say it both ways. Luka Doncic is hurt, therefore he is playing bad. That's the story. That's the truth of the matter. People are saying, what's wrong with Luka? What happened to Luka Doncic? He is injured. He's not playing well. He's not playing well because he is injured. And unfortunately, that is impacting the game. But we all know, I made a video about it the other day, Luka Doncic is a fighter. He's a warrior. He wants to be out there with his team. Over the past few seasons, Luka Doncic had to carry this team throughout the playoffs. And now it feels like the team's carrying Luka. Imagine how he feels. He's a true competitor. A lot of people trying to say he's faking his injury because they see him getting up and running around on offense and just slugging around on defense. And if you've watched the Dallas Mavericks game, that's just not true. Because I'll give Luka his credit. Him and Kyrie played amazing defense the entire game. Maybe not towards the end where things were falling apart, but for the majority of the game, Luka and Kyrie were playing elite defense. The whole team was. We were amazing last night. For the first 3 quarters, maybe really just the first half. The third quarter was abysmal as well. But Luka played great defense. And we know that when Luka actually puts an effort on defense, he is one of the best defenders in the league, I truly believe. And I showed you guys that he is averaging well below his playoff averages. But that's no excuse because as the best player on our team, as our go-to guy, you have to find a way to impact winning within yourself. Not forcing up bad shots. Not waiting till the final second in the shot clock to make a pass or to just throw up a bad shot. Not arguing with the refs on every possession. Now, I understand Lu Dort is playing very aggressive. Some may say dirty defense on Luka, hunting for him, on his ankles and his knees. We've seen it. We know what's going on. But arguing with the ref and not getting back on defense or arguing with the ref where potentially it could lead to a tech. It hasn't happened yet. But these are the things that can cost us a game. Why? By you not being locked in and complaining, not running back on defense, not trying to get the best shot available on offense. These are all the things that contribute to us losing. And as our leader, that's not what we need from you. We need you to play your best. And if you're not feeling your best, do what you can do. A lot of people are saying that maybe Kyrie needs to just be more ball dominant in Game 5 and let Luka play a little more passive. And to me, if that needs to happen to get us a win, let's do this. The series is tied 2-2. We can still do this. We've been here before, like in the Clippers series, where we lost Game 1, we won games 2 and 3, and then we lost Game 4. We're in the exact same position. But I think the difference is, and the reason why a lot of Mavericks fans are just so riled up and just very upset by this, because this was a very much a winnable game. If we just look at the Oklahoma City Thunder box score, nothing really remarkable outside of SGA. I mean, yeah, Chet had 18. The majority of that came in the fourth quarter, same as J-Dub, Lu Dort throughout the game. I mean, really towards the end of the game, Lu Dort's shots were falling. But they were 7 of 27 from 3. A team that I was worried about, they were going to shoot the lights out from 3 this entire series, went 7 of 27, shooting 25.9% from the three-point line. We should be able to take advantage of that and get that dub easily. And if we look at the free throws, 23 of 24, they only missed 1 free throw the entire night. And I know that we always want to say that SGA and all the Thunder players are a bunch of free throw merchants, and I get that, sure. But they at least hit their free throws. Because if I pull up the Dallas Mavericks box score, 12 of 23, that is unacceptable. Barely 50%. A player like Daniel Gafford going 2 of 4, I expect more. He's 70% from the free throw line for the season, right? Derrick Lively couldn't even, 1 of 3? He's 50% for the season. Kyrie was 1 of 2. I mean, we were splitting every single free throw. 1 in, 1 out. We couldn't buy a bucket from the line. We couldn't buy a bucket from, we were just able to shoot our threes pretty well. We just couldn't shoot the free throws. And I think that's the glaring issue last night. Because if we hit our free throws just as well as they did, we win this game no problem, no matter how ugly it was. But down the stretch, we were just letting them come back. SGA was getting every shot that he wanted. Then Chet Holmgren felt emboldened. He wanted to actually step up and get every shot that he wanted. And of course, we can talk about how the refs were just not calling everything. There was a weird play where SGA literally tripped over his own foot, and they call a foul on us. Thankfully, we challenged that because that's ridiculous, right? But then also there was a very weird play where Chet Holmgren gets fouled, not in the act of shooting, and goes to the line for 2. The refs were egregious. The refs have been very odd all series, all playoffs. We can just say it. A spade's a spade, and the refs are just wild out there. It's constantly 5v8. But regardless of the refs, we have been able to win in spite of the refs. We've been able to win and do the things that we need to do to close out these games. This was a very winnable game. But for Kyrie and Luka being the leaders of this team, I understand they're going to take accountability. They're going to own up to it. That's all fine and dandy. but I need to see that action on the court. I need to see those two guys being able to just be more dominant than just the second half from Kyrie Irving, be more efficient in Luka Doncic, and everything else will fall into play. I mean, the role players are doing their job. Tim's hitting some shots. Josh Green is hustling up and down the court. PJ is continuing to show us that he can step up as a scorer. Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford combined are being able to make something happen. I mean, Dante Exum hit a 3 the other night. When Dante Exum had 5 points, I'm like, the heavens have opened. We're going to win this game. All is good. I was sadly wrong because down the stretch, that's what it matters. I always say it in my live streams. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. And unfortunately, we just couldn't finish that well. But this is something that I want to look at right here. Because after the game, Kendrick Perkins said, Luka has been horrible this entire postseason. I can't 100% agree with that sentiment, but Kendrick Perkins, as well as a lot of the media and a lot of fans as well, are just dogpiling on Luka. And like I said earlier in this video, you got to say it both ways. He's playing bad because he's hurt, and he's hurt, therefore he's playing bad. Not an excuse. That's just the truth. I mean, the proof is in the numbers. He's not anywhere near his playoff averages for the last few times that he's been in the playoffs. Completely different. But again, Luka's the type of player who wants to fight. He wants to be there with his guys. I don't know if we win any of these games without Luka. So having Luka rest may not even be in our best interest. We may be worse. We don't know. But in the playoffs, it's a best of 7. You got to be careful with when you want to rest guys, when you want to play guys. We're not done yet. We're not even down. We're not out. We're not down and out. We're not. It's an even series. It's now a best of 3. We go back to Oklahoma on Wednesday, where hopefully we can get the dub, come back home on Saturday, and just ice this series and just be done with it and move on to the third round and go up against either the Timberwolves or the Nuggets. And honestly, I'm not too sure who I want more. But last night's performance from Kyrie and Luka was unacceptable. The role players definitely did their part. They did their best, but we need more from Kyrie and Luka. And again, I get it. Luka is hurt. I know this. I'll say it over and over again. Luka is hurt. But if you're going to be on the court, you got to be able to impact in a positive way. I'll give Luka his credit. Him and Kyrie played amazing defense the whole game. Luka is still getting doubled every single time he gets the ball. So I get that. There's a lot of things that go hand in hand. But we got to keep calm. It sucks right now. The team, that loss was demoralizing, and I get it. But we got to keep calm. We got to lock in. We saw what happened in the first round against the Clippers when this exact same thing happened. We never had an 8-point core against the Thunder. We never went down by 31 against the Thunder. We've been in worse situations. So the only thing we can do as fans is just keep rooting for the guys. They need our support because come tomorrow, it's a whole new day. It's a whole new ball game. Business as usual. We'll hopefully take care of business. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for making this far to the video. Check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another free jersey giveaway, and the best way and the only way to enter is to become a channel member. But keep your heads up, guys. Mavs fans for life, not just for the moment. That's for life. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.